colour's scary. Yeah, if you're familiar with my art in any capacity, be it on Tumblr or Instagram or way back in DeviantArt, you will know that I don't like colour. I have very limited palettes. I tend to only work with maybe one or two accent colours and mostly in greys or just straight black and white if I can swing it. And while I like my style and I like what I make, I'm often plagued by the thought that if I want to grow as an artist, I have to grow and use colours. Because colour is a very versatile tool in the artist's repertoire. It's used to convey tone, to, in character design, doing it with someone's dangerous or friendly, or you do set the mood of a piece, like what kind of feeling you want to convey, and it's so powerful. And I look at other artists and their art and go, wow, that's amazing. I don't know how you did that. So this is going to be a quick little series where I intentionally create a piece with a certain colour. See how far I can push a colour in terms of shape or design. This promises to be fun because I seem to have a chronic aversion to actually looking up tutorials for these kinds of things and just tend to fly out and try it and see what I can do by just messing around. So yeah, this will be fun. It might sound, despite my hesitance to actually use them, I own several colours of paint, pencils, inks, etc. I'm in the middle of moving my boyfriend into my room, which is also my studio, and as such I'm sorting through all of my stuff. I promised myself that if I didn't throw them away, which I didn't, then I'd learn how to use these colours and these materials instead, which is what we're doing now. I chose orange as the colour of the first picture for two reasons. One, because it's bright, but tonally not too different from the browns I'm used to as a background, or the sepia accents, so it's a nice starting point for me to introduce myself to colour. Two, because I wanted to try a sunset sky scene, which I've not done before. Even outside the local full try series, it seems this is becoming a running theme. So you might ask, the sharp-eyed among you, given this is a series about using colour, why am I using a paper that will technically make using colour more difficult if this is my first time actually trying to learn? Well, in short, I'm using this mixed media brown paper because I had just enough pages left in it to complete this quick little series, and I kind of like using brown as the mid-tone and adding highlights later instead of working purely from light to dark as you do on white paper using watercolours. So, let's actually talk about this painting. I was attempting a scene looking directly up at a sunset with clouds going diagonally for a bit of dynamism. My colour theory is still very shaky, and I don't think the purple shadows I tried stand out very much, but the important thing is they don't muddy the orange, and as such they're pretty subtle and don't distract from the ghostly focal points either. So I'm happy to take it as the learning experience that I'm doing this little series for and just move on from that. Speaking of the ghostly focal points here, it has been ages since I did any ink wash and I absolutely loved it. It was so nice, just let the ink flow where it wanted through the water that I'd already laid down and just let the uneven density define the folds and the direction of the movement with only a little bit of nudging from my end. They were only a quick design, but I'm actually really fond of how inquisitive and non-threatening they've turned out. I have a big little story in mind where these guys would be setting off on a journey or a migration. I might follow that up with a little bit of expansion later, I'm not sure. But there's often a story even vaguely in mind once I start drawing, and especially once I start writing. Because, I write too. I do multiple things. The other, the creepy, the strange. But having those things be ultimately harmless, I think there's a lot of unnecessary fear and a lot of people going for the shock and the horror factor. But I like things that are just different, but ultimately just around. That's why I was such a big fan of Undertale. and similar games like it. It was nice to explore those themes in my own style in a way that didn't include any of my usual skeleton friends. They are my go-to, but it's nice to just expand and try something a little different every now and then. I think I deem this particular painting a success. The orange was used mostly as a background bit with some variation on the clouds, but I think it worked. I think it worked as a nice, really simple painting and was a good warm-up to get me into the colour challenge as a whole. I'm very, very fond of how I managed the shading and the highlights with both the gel pen, Posca markers and the liners as well. You know, a little bit of lining here and there never hurts. My style uses lines extensively. So I'm very, very happy with it and very confidently looking forward to the next one on the list. Okay, so before we go guys, I have a few announcements to make. My website is newly revamped, link is in the description. Please check it out. My blog page there gives you a bit of an extra insight into my art and my videos, so highly recommend you check that out. Also there's my gallery, my contact me page, testimonials, anything, basically like an online portfolio if you want to get in contact with me for any way, shape or form. My Redbubble is also being revamped. I took all my art down and I'm in the process of re-uploading it with some digital improvements now that I actually know how to do that. You can go there for my artwork on t-shirts, on hoodies, on home decor, on laptop sleeves, phone cases, all the good stuff that I can't make myself, so highly recommend you check that out and that'll have some new art uploads very, very soon. And finally, this is a big one. I am teasing the opening of my own online storefront. Since the pandemic has kind of lambasted the convention scene this year and likely will have a ripple effect in the coming years, I've been focusing on a bunch of evergreen stock that I can keep up online on my shop, on my website. I'm looking at pins, jewellery, and maybe some patches, stickers, all that kind of thing. So it's not ready yet. I still need places to open so I can test some laser cutting designs and some printers, but I'm really, really looking forward to showing you guys all the goodies that will come as soon as that gets finished, so eyes out for that. Thank you so much for watching this video. The next colour to come will be purple in this little mini series, and I will see you real soon. Goodbye and thank you.